Thanksgiving has always held a special place in my heart. There's a unique warmth in gathering around the table, swapping stories, and reconnecting with loved ones. My family, despite their quirks, shares a deep bond, but they have this annoying tendency to push their teasing too far. Usually I shrug it off, knowing their jabs come from a place of affection. They've always been this way, poking fun, testing limits, but they're family and I cherish them. This year, though, as I prepared for the holiday, a strange unease settled in my chest. The usual excitement was missing, replaced by a nagging feeling I couldn't pinpoint. I chalked it up to nerves. Family gatherings can be chaotic, but we always end up laughing by the end. The evening started smoothly enough. My sister, Emma, was in her usual boisterous mood, tossing out jokes left and right. She's always been the spark of any party. Dad sliced the turkey, Mom fussed over the side dishes, and we fell into the familiar flow of our family dinners. The early teasing about my marriage felt lighthearted, the kind I'd grown used to ignoring. Someone quipped about how I'd snagged a husband who outshone me in the kitchen, given his culinary background. He was always dragged into cooking duty at family events. I laughed it off, letting the comments slide. But as the night wore on, the jokes grew sharper. I was reaching for the mashed potatoes when Emma, with a sly grin, dropped her big zinger. She remarked that her son, Liam, had my husband's exact eyes. The room burst into laughter before I could process it. The sound swelled, loud and suffocating. I froze, my hands suspended over the dish, my cheeks burning. Liam does have striking, soulful eyes, but to liken them to my husband's. I couldn't believe she'd said it aloud, let alone that everyone found it hilarious. The laughter lingered, relentless. Mom chimed in, joking that maybe Liam had inherited more than just my husband's looks. That only fueled the uproar. I glanced at my husband, who stood in the kitchen doorway wiping his hands on a towel. He looked uneasy, but I couldn't tell if he'd heard. I couldn't stay there. The laughter echoed in my ears as I pushed my chair back, the screech cutting through the noise. The room fell silent. I muttered something about needing air and stormed out, ignoring their calls. My husband shouted after me as I grabbed my coat, but he didn't follow. I felt his gaze as I stepped into the chilly November night, climbed into my car and drove off aimlessly, my hands clenched on the steering wheel. The moment replayed in my mind. Emma's smirk, the laughter, my husband's stillness. I tried to convince myself it was just a cruel joke, nothing more, but it felt heavier, like a truth I wasn't ready to face. When I got home, sleep eluded me. Emma's voice, that smirk, those words, they haunted me. I told myself I was overreacting, that I was letting a bad moment ruin a good night. But the knot in my chest wouldn't loosen. The next morning, I poured my heart out to my husband. I expected him to be outraged, to agree that Emma had crossed a line. Instead, he brushed it off, saying I was taking it too seriously, that it was just Emma being her usual self. He insisted they meant no harm, just their typical teasing. I stared at him, waiting for more, for him to stand up for me. He didn't. He called me oversensitive, said I shouldn't let one dumb comment ruin my day. His dismissal hit like a punch. It wasn't just his words, it was his tone, the way he avoided my eyes, the way he seemed more focused on deflecting than comforting me. For the first time, I can't tell you the full story in short. To watch the full story, click the related link below.